behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
Good evening, good day, good afternoon, good night, and hello everyone. Welcome back to PTM Racing TV, where we're live here tonight at Auto Club Speedway, Southern California's district, as we are heading down to watch Pushing Limits Racing League bring out 8 drivers for the Xfinity race version of their long-running season. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Christian Schreiber. Welcome back to the show as always. Let's get down to business and the brass taxes as we're one to always do. Let's start them up here tonight as we're going to bring you the Xfinity race. On the pole, we'll see Keith Checkmate Taylor in the 08 will be to his outside, the old 28 of Matthew Hoffert. Runner 2, it's going to be Dustin Slonaker in the number 66 to his outside, the closer, Cindy Taylor in the 07. Runner 3, it is Chantel, the throttle bottle, the number 5 to her outside. It's Jeffrey Todd Tufts in the 72. Your final starter, Noah Healy, in the 84 to his outside, it's going to be Torrey Thompson in the 88. That will be your starting lineup in your gridding order here. Looks like some problems for Todd Tufts here out of the gate. Not able to get the thing refired and started up. We're going to bring our drivers around town out of turn 3 and 4 this time by We're Going Racing. Formation lap coming into play, coming ready to set the pace in the early tone for these drivers as they're one to do. We're going to bring them around town, get this one in, and it looks like we're going to go to the yellow flag early, so they're going to give Todd a chance to try to get that thing fixed up and down right. $50 laps tonight here for these drivers here, 8 drivers in total. Going to try and play their hand, play the fiddle, play what they can to try to outwit and outdo the other here at this track. Very tough when it comes to really controlling the pace and controlling the center of gravity around here. This is one of those tracks that really it commands more of a kind of an understatement here, but it's kind of more of a track that you really have to watch how you corner in and out of more than anything. And the reason why I say that is because if you see right here, the bankings of this track itself are rather big in length here, but actually the Cup cars generally like to try to stay a little more to the lower end of the spectrum as we're on board with Keith Checkmate Taylor, where you see more of that middle ground and the higher ground, not so much the room that everyone goes to. However, there are multiple angles you can run around here and you can run placed in. So, but I did get word before we went on air tonight that the driver said point blank, this track, these cars, this is extremely tight for these cars, they said. Said compared to what it was like back in the Legend Series last week there in Canadian Tire, it's a big difference and a big change up. They said we're definitely going to have to get a little bit used to it. We'll see if they're able to get used to all of it and then some, because right now we're getting ready to hit them back on down the road. Todd Tufts still yet to get out of pit road. He is falling a lap or 2 down at the moment. Still not able to fire up the car. Something not right there. The 72 machine, that could cost him dearly here. They'll pace him back around now out of turn 3 and 4. We'll see if the flagman will give the word or signal. Yes, he will. The pace car comes off the track, which means it's about time to go racing. As they struggle him down the front straightaway, looking for the green flag. Everyone looking for a start. There is the green flag, and we're underway. Off the line through the chicane coming into turn 1. They'll battle them out of turn 1 immediately. The 5 Chantel throttle Paul staying down low while Matthew Hartford there, the 28 Hellman's machine, right up onto the back rear bumper there. Keith Checkmate Taylor, the early advantage going to Keith here as they charge him down that back straightaway. Running them back around here. Now a little bit of a battle between the rest of the field as Dustin Slonaker in the 66 machine gets a little bit into the middle section. Dale Chantel, the throttle bottle stays to the bottom line, looking to stick with her run, stay with the position as they come across. Keith Checkmate Taylor right now having still to do with that old Chevrolet right behind him. The Camaro of Taylor right now trying to make a jump or two around, make a little bit of a position in between. The 5 of Chantel going right back down to the bottom here as they lead him off there out of turn 2. But a kind of a leery start here. Everyone kind of nice and steady pace and even keel, but nothing really serious or hard on the throttle just yet. The Quantum 66 machine of Dustin Slonaker right now, just kind of giving himself a little bit of a run or two here as you see the 88 of Torrey Thompson there going to war there with Noah Healy in the 84 right now as they back him out around Torrey. One of the drivers to keep your eye on throughout the series and throughout these events. He ran hard in the super late model division back literally, I believe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And managed to put up a good fight there, but fell victim to the closer's wrath, and she managed to take away that win from him, and I believe it was Keith Checkmate Taylor, or no, actually it was Jeffrey Oakes that they got into it out of turn 2 and ended up losing both the battle and the war. But right now the battle seems to be up to the top 3 right now currently. The pace drawing near right now. Matthew Hartford trying to stay right into the middle section, trying to stay clear of the ground with the clearance. Keith Checkmate Taylor right there with them as they bring it back out of turn 4. Everyone's still hard on the throttle. Battle for supremacy here. Dustin Slonaker now in the number 66 goes down low. Cindy the Closer Taylor staying up high here. Looks like she's going to try to get that draft line off of the start, off the throttle, and off of her brother and Matthew Hartford here. But Slonaker, give him credit where credit's due. He's staying to the bottom, really keeping that Supra in nice even form. Cindy the Closer Taylor tonight, the only driver that is driving the Mustang version of the Xfinity Series tonight. Very interesting. Everyone else either in a Chevy or in a Toyota. Chantel, Hoffer, and Keith both in Chevrolets. Slonaker and Healy, Thompson, and Tufts are all in the Supras. Gorgeous looking pieces of equipment here that these drivers are driving around in. And one thing I've noticed that also kind of plays on a big factor and key role here with these Xfinity cars is just they are very tricky when it comes to how tight they can be and how hard they can get a run off of. But unlike the Cup cars, they actually do have ways to get a draft in a good position. And just holding that draft line in is really the hard part around here. Down across the back straightaway here. Looks like the run now goes to Matthew Hoffer, the 28 Hellman's numbers. Camaro goes down low. Let's see where this one goes, my friend. Keith right now trying to hang on, trying to get a little bit more push off that exit. He couldn't quite get it to run as hard though, but he is side by side there with old Hoffer. Running them back around now. Chantel, the throttle bottle, all of a sudden starting to intervene a little bit. Looks like she wants to get the Pepsi Cola bottles wraps number 5 ahead of here. Has a little bit of a game change here. Ooh, a little bit of a wall tap there for Cindy as she came off of turn 2, managing to recover. Have recovered nicely. She did. I think it might have actually helped her more than anything. She gets right in there on the middle section down low, takes it away from the throttle here as they bring it back around. I said before, I'll say it again, this track is known for multiple angles and multiple areas, and right now you're seeing it right on the screen here. Major runs and hard battles between everybody. 7 out of 50 right now currently completed. Matthew Hoffer desperately trying to stay in the draft, or at least in the sight of Keith Checkmate Taylor. So that way Taylor just doesn't go running off from him here. To the onboard camera we go here. You can see now how hard that jump is from that back straightaway out of that exit. Taylor's getting a good run off of that, getting a good position or two out of there. That's really what's saving his grace right now. The last lap for both drivers seemed to be a little bit of an even keel. Cindy the Closer Taylor, though, definitely the even playing field of this one. She ends up getting a 42.58 off that one, whereas Keith was only a 42.65. Chantel and Hoffer both in the 8s. now in the 9s on that one here, and actually slowing down a little bit. Looks like times are starting to elapse a little bit, maybe giving them a little bit of a trouble or two. Everybody except for Jeffrey Todd Tufts are all in the 43s or right near it. Chantel managing to pull off a 42.91 there though, but Keith managing to get a good run off that exit. Really it's helping save his tires and save himself, but again, how hard is he running that in for the long-term run? Because again, we've seen it before on the show where a long-term run doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best kind of run. As you see now, the last lap times coming up on your screen here, this is what it looks like when they go around this next time by. Times adjust there, and you can see right here, there is a bit of a change up, but it's still currently Keith Checkmate Taylor, who has got the race lead in a pretty good line into the pocket. Having no troubles out there hanging with them. And speaking of no troubles around here comes Dustin Sonaker in the Toyota Supra. He's going to get a nice jump off of turn 2, gets a good little bit of a position. Takes it side by side as they run them down around out of that corner once more. Every driver for themselves around here, and there is no holding back around here at all. Time to get the drone cam out, because you can see right there how hard they are coming around that corner into position. And there is major damage there on that 28. The Hellman's Matthew Hopper there, he has got major damage on that machine on the right side. As you see him coming around out of turn 1 and 2. He's still trying to get a little bit of a reasonable gap in between there. But definitely the damage has been done up already for him. Cindy the closer Taylor right now trying to push Chantel up a little bit. She's up 3 spots from where she started at, that being Chantel in this case. 1 spot for Cindy. So the hard charge of the night definitely going to the throttle. But right now, Keith Checkmate Taylor has yet to stay ahead of the whole field in a long distance, long run setup. To me, he's been kind of consistent, but he hasn't shown really the full power I think that he is capable of here. He's going to try to keep it going though. Pace them back around once more, and these guys and gals, man, I'll tell you one thing. This Pushing Limits Racing League this season, I believe, has set a tone, has set a strategy for what is to come in the near future and around the world, of course. Seems like every time out, there's always something different, always something unique, and right now I'm definitely seeing a bit of that there. As you see the 5 get a little too aggressive there coming out of turn 4. Opens the door up. Now the throttle will have the problematic here. How much damage did she take off that right side, I wonder? We're going to have to take a look on the cam here. Producers, get that drone cam back out. I want to see what we got down there, guys. They've got the drone cam going around now. Here we go. And you can see right there, look at that right side there of that car. Damage majorly done up on the fender and on the side skirt there. That thing has got some wear and tear already, and it's hurting them big time here. You can see the Fox Racing number 5 Pepsi Cola machine of Chantel Throttle Pottle is going to try to get that cleaned up and fixed up if she has to go into pit road. But right now, there's no chance of going to pit road at this point. Hope you guys are enjoying the new camera system we got going on. We're trying to work in a little bit of new tricks and tips here. So hopefully you guys think it's a little bit unique or works out all right. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to use it on different speedways and different areas. But for now, we're just kind of using it on the test markets. Pushing Limits was nice enough to let us test it out. And speaking of testing out, looks like Cindy's going to try and test out her brother's patience here as they lead it down the laps here. Right now, currently, Cindy, there's a reason why we call her the closer around here, because she has been laying off on the throttle and laying off on the momentum, and now it is starting to pay off majorly here. Keith literally was about a 10th back on that lap there between the two, and you're going to see it right here again. You can see that there is no grip and countering for Keith right now. Cindy has just been staying more consistent and more on edge and more focused than I think Keith realizes here. Torrey Thompson, we're going to go to the onboard camera with him here. See a little bit of a different setup here, a little bit of a different change. And one of those things that you really got to look for when you're watching these Xfinity cars is just how much smaller, more compact they look, and how they feel in general too. They're one of a kind, that is for sure. But they're also a bit of a handful if you're not careful around here. And it looks like Jeffrey Todd Tufts is going to try to put that to the limit and put that to the test here. He's going to go on the inside, maybe looking outside, looking in. Todd Tufts looking for a game change, looking for a plan of attack here around Torrey Thompson as they ring it down the front straightaway. Still, though, it is going to be Torrey Thompson who manages to hold off and pace it around. As the rest of the field currently, well, just kind of doing their own thing in the moment here. Great crowd on hand here tonight, here to watch this race. Great to have you all on board. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you guys do like what you see or you're watching the replay on YouTube, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe here up on the Facebook and the YouTube end of the spectrum. Be sure to go over to Twitter and Instagram and check out those handles and we post up pictures and all that. And of course, if you guys ever want your league broadcast or you want your race broadcasted, well, if we have the date, we have the time, just simply ask us up and we will try to do what we can. But right now, I think we're pretty much booked all the way through on every day and every week now. Somebody asked me a while back there, we ever going to get another broadcaster into the show and actually do that? And I told them point blank, no, not at the time. We have no foreseeable future of that, so we're going to kind of keep it that way. If there's anything, I guess the producers always say they want me to be the voice of PTM Racing TV, so I just kind of leave it at that. I guess it works out in the end right now as they lead them down the front straightaway. Cindy, I got to believe, just toying with her brother, almost pulling like a Darrell Walsh trip out here. He's just kind of letting her, she's just letting him know, like, hey, I'm back behind you. I'm not going to pass you yet, but I'm just going to let you know I'm back behind you. And trust me when I say it, I'm ready to make you work for this one. That's kind of the mindset I get off this and what they're doing right now. Cindy, an A-class licensed driver here. Key Checkmate Taylor, a B-class in this case. Dustin Sodaker, of all things, he's really a rookie in the class license department, but he sure doesn't drive like one sometimes. Bring him down that front straightaway. Here we go now. Looks like Cindy has been waiting long enough. Here comes the move down on the front straightaway. The 07 now looking for a charge and a half. Making for a big pass around there. And now that will, for the first time tonight, introduce ourselves to our new leaderboard. And right now, I think Cindy is kind of getting tired of literally hearing that around here because she seems to be taking that lead away from everybody, no matter which league she is and no matter where she's at. Yeah, I'm not really sure what changed her game plan, changed her strategy of, but it seems like every time out, all of a sudden, like now she's just gotten better and better with each run and each passes she's been making out here. Leading him across the line through the chicanes, down into the turns once more. Dustin Sodaker right now trying to get a little bit of a ground clearance here in there too. See if maybe he can get something going. You can see though on that camera here how much the distance wise is in between them and where they're at. The momentum is not what they wanted here at all, but at the moment that is what he's going to have to keep working with. Pretty impressive they're able to get that drone cam to work as well as they are right now, considering how hard they're flying in. Wait a minute, caution comes out. There's problems down there on the front straightaway. Noah Healy, the 84 comes to a sudden halt there on the front straightaway. Well, we'll see what happened here in just a minute right now. Looks like some issues, though. Noah Healy will have to try to get that centered out and try to get it fixed up a little bit. Hopefully nothing too serious and hopefully nothing too majorly damaged there on that machine. But we're going to go to the PTM Instant Replay to find out what happened here. So there's going to come around at turn 4. Looks like he was already getting kind of loose off that run. Here's the PTM Instant Replay here. Looks like maybe he just got a little tight under the hood there. He did come out of pit road at the time, so he was running on cold tires. And when you're running on cold tires on a track that is extremely slick when you're trying to get a good runoff exit, you have stuff like this happen once in a while. Oh, hang on, and nice save there, managing to catch a break. He didn't even touch the wall, but got very fortunate there. We'll say that right now. Noah is okay though. He'll if he didn't warm his tires up from that, though, I'd be surprised. But this is your first caution of the night, folks, so we will let them re-rack, restack, and all that, and get things taken care of on our end. Keith Checkmate Taylor, man, he fighting hard with his sister Cindy. And Cindy will beat him into pit road, of course. Dustin Sonaker, Chantel, the Throttle Bottle, Matthew Hofford, and Tori Thompson. Well, excuse me, not Tori Thompson, but just those groups that I said a minute ago, all going into pit road. Jeffrey Todd Tufts decides to stay out there. You see Tori Thompson out there. He's trying to get his last back, trying to get his time back in this well. He wants to try to be a play and a half here. He has a little bit of a chance here. Now, it's interesting when Healy spun around there because actually they've kind of set themselves up for the long term of a half stage break. So really, that kind of came at a better time for the halfway point. But now, if you're Keith Checkmate Taylor or you're Chantel Throttle Potter, Dustin Sonaker, or even Matthew Hofford, you got to be wondering to yourself here, okay, I see what Cindy's up to and what she's going to try to do. So our strategy needs to be at that point, what is the best strategy? Because the way they're going to run this line in, they're going to run their spots up, they've got to be very selective on how they hit their turns and how they hit their spots in, because they are going to have cold tires and they're going to have also the situation of Todd Tufts being up there if he stays out. Some of these cars up, as you see here tonight, obviously they were done up by old Paul's Wraps there. As you see the number 5 machine, obviously done up there. Has a Lamar Green in the back there, or as I call it, the tramp stamp, if you will. So they'll bring him around town once again, folks, and hopefully we will get this one settled back down a little bit. Looks like we're going to double file them up, which usually means one thing. It means we are about ready to initiate a green flag restart. Cindy the Closer Taylor and Keith Checkmate Taylor, both Taylors, the brother and sister duo, are going to be your race leaders there on the start here. So they'll line it back around. Looks like pace car does stay out a little longer. I guess the race officials are saying we're not quite ready yet. But that's all right, because right now that'll give everybody a chance to lay into it a little bit more here, get things nice all settled up and situated out. Well, a little more laps or two to burn up won't hurt them, I would say. As we mentioned before, here down in Southern California right now, Auto Club Speedway. One thing that we are very much aware of and we are ready to see as well when the time comes, I believe it'll be 2 years or a year from now, is that this track right here, well, in the real life world, it will not be the 2 mile long, or I believe the 1.5 mile or a 2 mile long track as you see here as we look at our race info here tonight. So what will happen here tonight, what will happen here in a couple of years from now or just down the road, we're going to see this track completely change up from that 2 mile length to literally, I think it was like, what, a mile long or a half? It's like a mile long, maybe like a half-mile long length track for Auto Club Speedway. They're turning it into a short track under the NASCAR rules, so that will be interesting to see how well that plays out and how much that banks in as we're about ready to get back to the green flag here as they come around out of turn 4, looking for the lights to come on down the track. This D-shaped configuration track going to be put to good use now on the restart as the green flag flies back on out. We're underway. We're all out of the gate immediately. Cindy the closer Taylor has the early advantage here, but Keith checkmate. Trying to get a little afterburner in that 0-8 machine, trying to push hard out of the turn. Gets a nice run there, pushes it hard off the back straightaway, gets a nice jump or two in there, and looks like he's got something coming for him. Chantel the throttle bottle now on the outside as well. Matthew Hofford following in line there. Looks like Hofford might be trying to see if maybe he can stick in a little bit more this time. I think he may have learned from his mistakes on that first stage, if you will, if you want to call it a stage. It really was just a caution, and then the halfway point now back in it. Line it back down around here once more. Noah Healy is a lap down at the moment, so he'll have to try to make up the ground and make up the clearance there. Torrey Thompson, though, falls way behind the field. He goes up too high out of turn one. Loses all his ground, all his chances there. Keith checkmate Taylor right now leading it down the back straightaway, trying to get a move there on Cindy. On the roll call here tonight, Melissa Kolczynski Taylor says, "Go Cindy, go." You too, Keith. Love you, Cindy and Taylor. Great to have you on board, Miss Melissa. Always wanted to root on the Taylors, especially Cindy here when time comes, and I can see why right now. Especially you can see what Cindy's trying to do. She's trying to try to hold off her brother Keith here. I think she's seeing something. I think maybe she's thinking that he's seeing something else she's not right now for that long haul. But also one of the biggest disadvantages of being up front is you have that issue of possibly getting someone to overdrive your turns and overdrive your corners. And if you don't have any control there, then it hurts you for later on. But it looks like Keith's going to try to make that move there on turn 3. Going to make a big go for it around. But again, is he overdoing it for the long haul, or is he trying to get a really good short run in? Because again, we saw when he was doing a really good short run, it did not work out the way he was wanting it to. Matthew Hoffer, the Hellman's number 28 machine now leading him back around the corners here, just having a nice steady pace here. The laps do not lie in between right now. Currently, the last laps for these drivers here. Looks the fastest lap will go for this case for Jeffrey Todd Tubbs, managing to lay down a 42.32. That is his fastest of the night. Same for Noah Healy, lays down a 42.47 for his fastest. While Cindy, the closer, right now currently tied with her brother when it comes to the best lap with a 42.13. Last lap though between them, how about this? 42.35 for both of them. Hoffer with the 42.31 and then Chantel with the 42.33. As that changes up now and now fixes back in. The advantage going to Cindy, gets about a 300 of a second gap there on that last lap for Keith here. Matthew Hoffer right now trying to see if maybe he can push a little bit more momentum under that hood, get something going. That helmet machine is not giving up, but it's not holding up the way I think he wants it to. These big bumps in these corners here, one thing we'll talk about in just a minute, will play a factor as always here tonight, but right now currently the way I'm seeing it, it's all hunt and survival and just hunt and peck when you can. And you can see why that is currently. Keith, in my opinion right now, a little bit of a disadvantage if you ask me. The reason why I say it's a bit of a disadvantage is because he has guys like the 28 of Matt Hoffer, and you got the 5 of Chantel just kind of laying low, looking for any opportunity, any chances here. Jeffrey Todd Tufts last night had a little bit of a favorable race there when he came to his battles and came to his wars, but he wasn't able to get anything going at old hot Atlanta Motor Speedway last night. I talked to him earlier today. He said, yeah, it wasn't quite my night there, but I've been getting better as we go along with this. In our chat now, Janet Healy cheering on the number 84 of Noah Healy, trying to give him a little bit of love. Janet, we might need to get the rabbit's foot out because he's a lap down right now and he's falling behind. Keith checkmate Taylor right now still ahead of the field, with Cindy the closer Taylor just kind of edging the whole field out by a narrow margin. But it looks like Keith's going to start to get a little bit of a draft going on her. So that begs the question, you know, again, how much is she burning in, and how much is he burning in for doing this? As that Warhorse zero-way machine now falls right back in line. That would be a scary sight if I ever saw that coming at me. I wonder why Bubba Wallace ran that scheme for a while. I'd hate to see those teeth running into my rear view mirror, although I still think we have the funniest photo of all time, though, in our archives here on PTM Racing TV. Where literally it was in the street stocks for season 1. You saw Robert the Rattlesnake Khan's pink and whatever the heck that was car. And behind him was Cooper Rollins had the old machine there. He had literally something similar to what Keith did, but those teeth on that thing were menacing and scary. And you can just see like the picture of Robert Kahn's face on there, just scared out of his mind, just terrified with the face right with those big old mouth right behind him. That was probably our best photo we've ever had on PTM Racing TV. We haven't got anything close to it yet. 19 laps left to go here, and currently the throttle Chantel falling back behind quite a bit. I know with that butt kicker down there, it definitely affects the feel and overall handling, but maybe there's one thing that has been not noted enough of, is that the whole point of this track here tonight, the bumps, the ridges, and everything that comes on Auto Club, this is not an easy track to stay even keel and smooth on. This is not a smooth track at all. This track right here, man, it is a bumpy surface. It's a bumpy road, and we're going to go on board with Cindy here. Now, I want you to look right in front of you. You know how those ridges are kind of all over the place, and maybe you can tell if the car is kind of moving around a little bit? Well, that's what I'm talking about right there. You can see it's very bumpy on those straights. Turns aren't too much better, but you're going to see a real big bump or two here coming off this backstretch. Flat bank surface. Now, watch the car and watch how a little bit bumpy it gets here. See it right there, man. She's just bumping, bouncing, banging around in there. And you got that old butt kicker working right now. I would say you're feeling every little thing and two in between, which is a good thing, but also can be a bit of an annoying thing, because the thing is, you're trying to make sure you watch where your tires are going and how they're handling. That's why a lot of drivers these days always talk about listening for the sound of the tires burning up the rubber and shredding on asphalt. And then on dirt, it's all about feel there, because the tires there will not give as much. It's really just a matter of your steering offset and steering ratio that controls and saves your life. Little bobble there out of turn 1 for the throttle. That opens the door up. Here comes Sparky. The Toyota Supra, the 66 of Dustin Sonaker, now making a move around the corners there on the back straightaway, making a big charge and a half there for the 5 of Chantel. Chantel desperately trying to keep that middle outside line to herself, but it's not enough to keep off the power of the 66. He must have been reading his racing Bible, because I think he opened it up to Excel Chronicles verse 9. In a time of day when I'm in a little bit of a bumpy situation, trusting the power of speed, and I'll find my way into the next great race to take over this transition. Producers, did you write that in the Bible, or did you literally mess up on my racing Bible? I don't know what you're talking about down there. Well, anyway, back to the action right now. Currently, Matthew Hopper falling back a little bit in time and in ground here. His last lap there was a 43.19 to this Taylor. It's really a 0.2 and 10 here. And that gap is starting to increase more as they go. And here comes Sparkalicious Sparky. Dustin Sonaker there, the 66, trying to get the Quantum 66 ahead. That Superman's been pretty strong all day long, and he's going to make a big run off that. Very nice cornering up, very nice edging out of that turns there. Makes a nice jump or two around. Chantel right behind Hopford, trying to make something work here. Matthew Hopper slowing up a little bit there. Looks like he's going for old pit road. Looks like the tires did a little bit too much of a number and too much damage in there. Not much you can do about that, especially with 14 laps to go here. And also, if you have not forgotten or you did not see our post up here tonight, we have ourselves a double header here tonight. This is not just we'll not just have this one here from Pushing Limits. We will have a race from the Fast and Fun IROC series coming up in just a few short minutes. And where they're heading is a track I am very curious to see how they'll run on. Michigan International Speedway is the next race on the lineup. And no, I'm not talking the road course this time. I'm talking the legit speedway, the oval style configuration. And speaking of oval style configuration, looks like the 0-8 to Keith finally starting to make a little bit of an oval transition because he's starting to rotate the car in perfectly where he wants it. Cindy falling back just a slight bit. I think she's trying to get Keith to get a little bit of a sense of security and maybe give herself a little bit of a run or two. Or maybe it's falling off a slight bit. Last lap there between those two. Cindy was a 6.9, 34 for Keith. Keith goes down low. Looks like maybe he's trying to avoid Cindy's draft line there. Maybe not give her so much of a chance. Or maybe he has to go into pit road here. Oh, that's the case. He goes into pit road. Fuel becomes a factor. Now, how long can the same be done for Cindy the Closer Taylor? Because right now, if you're looking at the pit strategy here from these drivers, Keith just went into pit road here, and you can see Sonaker has went in as well. The only driver that just went in that's kind of early on the spot is Matthew Hoffer. You can see what his strategy is basically long-term gain. He's trying to basically go in at the right time in the right place and then just sneak by everybody and take over position and hope that those tires will stick up enough to get a good run off it. Todd Tufts did the same thing Hoffer did, so the draft will be a little bit of a factor here as Dustin Sonaker and Cindy the Closer Taylor are right in this one. They're slowing down to the bottom. That means one thing. They're going for pit road. Cindy's going to charge in quickly, try to get it stopped. She has to brake quickly there. Gets it done just right. That will open the door up for our new leader here now. So we will have Chantel, the throttle bottle, take over the race lead. But for how long will that last? You've seen her way back in the pack. She was laying off on the run a little bit. I got to believe she's trying to save those tires as much as she's also trying to save that fuel a little bit. Hoffer right now is in front of her, and he will be a lap down if he's not careful here. Pit strategy is such a crucial factor, and there's such a crucial area of play for these drivers, and all around, man, they are doing whatever they have to stay focused on that and everything that comes in between. The 5 goes in now. She's going to go in for a pit stop, see if she'll have a little bit of a chance here. So that will leave the door, in my opinion, wide open for Hoffer to steal this one away. Keith Checkmate Taylor, though, is right behind him. Keith went in about a lap later, so that means he'll have a fresher set of tires, and will that be the key factor to victory? That is my question now, because Matthew Hoffer with the race lead going to come up here as he brings it around down the back straightaway to turn 3 and 4. He's going to take that lead away unless Chantel gets out of there quickly. Looks like she is going for tires here, so this will be interesting. Taking ones on the right, and will she take the ones on the left? Yes, she will. Hoffer's coming up quick. Hoffer will take the race lead away now as they're pulling away. Chantel gets back out on the track here. Cindy the Closer Taylor looked like maybe she had fallen victim to a problem in pit road. I think she might have got caught speeding, and that might have just ended her night completely here. Lee Puddester Pottle now joins in, saying, "Go Chantel Pottle." Matthew Hoffer, though, and Keith Checkmate Taylor are your two front runners with 9 laps remaining. So I can now officially say it, and I can confirm and concur, we have ourselves a new leader for the long-term game anyway. The Hellman's 28 of Matthew Hoffer takes the race lead away now and has the opportunity to do something special here. He just needs to stay focused. Chantel, though, is catching up quickly here. She has the full throttle assault laid into it in those turns. She's going to go right down the bottom and try to get a jump off that exit to get back up there with them. But you can see the distance in between these drivers. Between Keith Checkmate Taylor there, you see going into turn 3, down halfway, the backstretch Chantel, that is. She's still a ways off here, and laps are winding down. It's going to be interesting here. We'll see how well it plays out. Hoffer, though, is your race leader, and Keith just needs to stay away from that wall protection. I think it's a little too up close and personal to it there. Final 8 laps now is up for grabs. Hoffer, I think, maybe fading slightly here. Take a look at the last lap time on that one. And Dustin Sonaker, how about this on his last lap? Managed to pull off a 42.17. Good time for him, but he's also a lap down, unfortunately, so that's not helping his cause any. Right now, Hoffer was a 42.77. Key Checkmate Taylor on a 42.23. That is not good if you're the Hoffer camp. Chantel with a 42.36 of all things, so I don't know if she's really gaining ground there on Keith at all here. But if Hoffer and Taylor go to war here, this could be a little bit of a battle of supremacy. Who will be able to outwit and pace the other as we're down to the final 7 laps. Another 3/10 gain there for Keith right now as he leads it in. Here comes the battle there out of turn 2. Keith looking for an opening, possibly looking to steal this one away. He's got a good position in, looking to charge in a half. Will he get the ground clearance as we take it to the take our drone cam now as they lead it off? That draft line is going to be a crucial factor here as you see him coming off those lines, coming off those grips there. Really, it's all about patience and perseverance here. Here that comes now, though, down out of turn 4. The front straightaway, you can see that gap in between. They're going to get a jump off of that. And that will give the advantage up to Keith Checkmate Taylor. We have ourselves a leader. That's Keith will take over the race lead once again. He's looking for win number 2, I believe, or at least number 3 of the season. He's got one already with the season opener. Does he have enough time to take home another one? He gets into the wall protection, though, going into turn 3. Did that slow him down a little bit to give Hoffer a chance to catch him back up? We're down to the final 5 laps. Oh, Hoffer, though, at a turn 4, smashes the car into the wall protection. And the right side, badly damaged there. Not what he wanted to have happen at all. Dustin Sonaker will make a pass around. Now the only one really that's got a chance of taking down Keith is Chantel. The problem is her lap times are not looking the way she wants it to. She's literally about a 10th off of Hoffer's and 10th off of Keith's. My opinion right now, this looks like it's going to be all Keith Checkmate Taylor's, barring any issues. 8 drivers came in here tonight, and right now we have the 08 of them. That being Keith Checkmate Taylor, the Warhorse, number 08, with the lead and position. As they lead it down, we will have 4 laps to go. Hoffer gave it everything he had. But that one little bobble, that one little hit he took off that corner, I think did him in. Let's take a look at this here right now. Battle for second. Chantel is gaining ground on Hoffer quickly. Got about 4 seconds left to catch up to him, which that's saying a lot when you got the times they're leading in, though. 9/10, 9/10, and 9/10 there on those 2 laps. Not out of it just yet here. Still a little bit of a chance of having one more run in the battle here. We'll see if that is going to be the case here. Line them out down the front straightaway right now. 3 laps to go in the Pushing Limits Racing League Xfinity race here tonight. Next week, though, we hopefully will see some more drivers tune in. I know there were some that were not able to make it here tonight, sadly. But next week, I can tell you right now where we're going to go and what we're going to see. It is going to be at Daytona. And it's going to be a car I don't think anybody would ever thought we were going to run. For the first time ever, next week, we're going to see the Delaris DW12. It's coming. The car legacy version, the Delaris DW12, will be at Daytona, a 40-lap shootout that night. You are not going to want to miss it here for Pushing Limits Racing League. As 2 to go, green flag flies in the air. And it's all Keith Checkmate Taylor as long as he just keeps it nice and cool out those runs. He just needs to punch laps in, just punch more turns in, and there you go. It's over with. He'll bring it down the back straight away one more time around here as he'll have to perform one more good lap. Here comes the white flag now for the 08 as he leads it on in. They're coming to the end now. The white flag is out. Smooth as silk out of turn 2, leads him in. Now Dustin Sonaker looks like he's going to have a little bit of a gap to shoot. I think he's just trying to pull for the camera. I don't know what kind of camera he's looking at right now, but currently the camera we're going to be looking at here as he leads it off out of turn 3 into turn 4. Your race winner here tonight, it's going to be Keith Checkmate Taylor as he takes it to victory lane. The 08 Warhorse takes it all from the field. He is your driver to be. He is your race winner here tonight. And what a victory for him as well and that crew there. I got to believe they've got to be very happy about that. All that hard work, all that time put in here to catch this one. Put to good use, put to good time, and now it has come to be his place. He is your winner. And now he's going to send it into the grassy plains. Have a little fun with this one. Why not? Opens up his own lawn care service, and I don't think he minds damaging the car up a little bit. Race is over. He don't care. Matthew Hoffer finishing third. Second actually goes to Chantel Throttle Pottle, managing one last quick pass around there, actually around Matthew Hoffer, because Matthew Hoffer had to go into pit road on the lap 51. So unfortunately Hoffer just didn't quite get it set up the way he wanted to, and that ended up being his night. Your race results are now coming into the show. Here we go. Let's take a look at this as we bring the Pushing Limits Racing League Xfinity race to an end. 8 drivers came tonight, and the 08 of Keith Checkmate Taylor will be that man to beat. He now owns 2 victories to his resume and his season, coming away with the battle here at Auto Club Speedway. Second place, a strong second finish to Chantel Throttle Pottle, pitting in at the right time, making the right moves and the right adjustments, managing to land her a good spot. Third going to Matthew Hofford. Unfortunately, that little bobble there out of turn 4 cost him any chance he had to face against Keith. Yeah, it slowed him down tremendously. Todd Tuss for the 4th place finish. Not bad for the Canadian, as he will take over for that one. And then Cindy the Closer Taylor nearly following a lap down, unfortunately, due to a pit stop error. Caught speeding on pit road. You have to face the facts and penalties there. Dustin Sonaker there, unfortunately, did much of the same, falling back behind. Just had nowhere to go. Noah Healy with a strong little finish here for the last couple weeks, but unfortunately tonight not to play the same way. Hopefully he'll get it dialed in next time out. And Torrey Thompson, definitely in my opinion, has been kind of the understatement, has not been up to the full caliber that he generally has been able to put on every time out. So he will have to start dialing things in a little bit more. But with this new one coming up here, when they bring out the Formula One style cars next week, you gotta wonder yourself what adventures lie away and what excitement will we see there. It's going to be hard to tell. We're going to give the drivers now the chance to come on in here as we bring in the 3rd place finisher here tonight, Matthew Hoffert, up onto the screen. He will take home the 3rd place slot. 2nd place, we know she will not talk with us. She does not like talking with us very much. She likes to just do it on the track. That is the 2nd place finisher, Chantel the Throttle Pottle, with a strong, solid finish for the Newfoundlander. She'll take that one home. And then, of course, Keith Checkmate Taylor will be the race winner here tonight. He will pull it into victory lane, gets it from the trailer into Southern California, and takes home a win. He'll take it down to Florida, where I believe he's going to be happy about this one. But now, folks, he is ready to talk with us now down into the comments. He is right here with us now in victory, in the pit road section, I should say. It's Matthew Hoffer in the 28. And, Matthew, I mean, all around tonight, man, it just seemed like you had something. And you were getting it closer and closer, but it just seems like that wall protection was always there to kind of hold your ground, wasn't it?
Yeah, it seems to happen every time. I don't know, I'm just frustrated.
For sure.
Thought I had a good car, go for the win, little pit strategy, and everyone else with new tires ate me up like I was standing still.
For sure there. I mean, there's one thing, though, that you gotta remember, too, is that you are driving different series every time out, so you're not getting used to, one series over the other and figuring out how to time them in. So, I gotta ask you, really, how much of a difference does that make in considering, your situation and all that? Really, is there any way to work around that or to get better at it?
Uh, Not really. I mean, really just practice. Try to practice as much as possible with the car coming up, and but it has been quite a curveball. I mean, it's a fun curveball, but it has been quite a curveball with a different series each week. But it is fun.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Hofford, you're getting a third place finish here tonight. Who do you want to thank you for this finish, my friend?
Well, thank PTM Racing TV putting on a good broadcast. Pushing Limits Racing League putting on a league. Congratulations, Keith. Great win. Thank you everybody that came out tonight to race and everyone watching at home.
For sure there, Matthew. Congratulations on third place finish. Great to see you back in the podiums, my friend.
All right, thanks, bud.
Hoffy, the Matthew Hofford camp right now that takes home third. And I don't believe we're going to have anybody else join us here tonight. And we will have about 10 minutes before we go to the main race, about, well, 20 minutes, as I say. Here tonight, we will see the action sprung up back at Michigan International Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned as we will show you that race in its entirety here in just a little bit. But for now, we must call it quits for Pushing Limits from all of us here at PTM Racing TV. We thank you again, Pushing Limits, for allowing us to come on out and have a good time and show off your races. And hopefully when the time comes and we see the Dallas, I don't know how you say that, Dallas Legacy cars put on to Daytona International Speedway, what on earth will we see from those Formula One style badasses? You'll find out next week. But for now, be safe. God bless. Take care. Good night, everyone. We'll see you here in just a few short minutes.